Well, believe it or not, it is time for softball. As cold as it has been all over the country, teams are playing softball, and it's time to start up In the Circle, presented by Rawlings. And today we have first-year coach Mike Armitage, who is the head coach at Valparaiso. And Coach, first of all, thank you for joining us. I'm sure it's cold in your neck of the woods as well.
Yeah, we've gotten some snow here lately. We were pretty fortunate most of the year. There's a few days in January where we could get out on the football field and do some things, but with this white layer of snow, it's pretty tough to get outside right now. So winter is still here, I guess.
Yeah, I know. I hate to say that because I know everybody wants to get into action, but not your first go around in the Missouri Valley Conference. You spent a little time in the Valley, so tell us a little bit about that and a little bit about your background before coming to Valparaiso.
Sure. Actually, I think it all kind of started at I was coaching a high school game for Lexington High School. We're playing in a regional championship game, and just after they changed the rule to the first as far as recruiting, I had a kid on my team that Illinois State was looking at. So Tina Kramos came over to watch her play, and then after the game, Tina and I started talking a little bit, and I just said, "Hey, how do you get into college softball?" And she said, "Well, we have an opening right now for a volunteer position." So, one thing led to another, and then I'm in Melinda's office and talking about being a volunteer coach. So that's kind of the start. And then I spent 3 years there, and it was three good years. Learned a lot. I think you probably learn more than you even know you learn, because you learn some things that you would like to do, some things that make sense, some things that you're like, I don't know, maybe I do it a little bit different, but you definitely learn, so it was a very good program to go into, to be my first experience in college softball and really get a taste of what it was all about. So yeah, that was really nice to have. And then of course, having Melinda on your resume doesn't hurt for that next job too. So so I was able to get a head coaching position in Minnesota State University Moorhead. Spent 3 great years up there. Actually lived in Fargo and worked in Moorhead, and experienced those Fargo winters. So when people chat about winters down here, I'm thinking, yeah, well, they're a little windier up there, but it was a great time. It was a great administration up there. We were able to kind of revive a softball program up there, and then from that point, just applied here at Valpo. Saw a similar opportunity, in my opinion, so I felt like this might be a good fit, and so far, in my opinion, it's been a good fit.
Well, we're happy to have you in the league and look forward to seeing some of your teams play. So you got hired a little bit late in the process in the summer, but talk about what you and your staff are doing to set the culture there and maybe reset the culture there. What are some of the things that you're trying to implement?
Yeah, I think given some of the experiences that they've had, in the past, and talking about our veteran players, we just wanted to give them that taste of having fun with the game again, and making practice be something they look forward to rather than something they kind of dread or dwell on or whatever. So I think that's the biggest thing, and I really believe that was accomplished in the fall. Certainly, being the first year, everything is still going to be new. We can say that the honeymoon is over and we're into the grind, but really everything for us is still new, because even though it's not my first go around or the players' first go around as a season, but it's our first together, and I think you find out a lot. You get on the road, and sometimes it's kind of a hindrance to be on the road so much given our geographical area, but it also helps you, because I think you can grow on the road a lot better. You don't have that warm blanket at home. It's you've got you and your teammates, that are going to be holding each other accountable. So I think that's good. I think the culture itself is good. I really believe that we can, as coaches, we can set examples of what culture should be, but the players are the ones that really make the culture work. So and I think they're doing a great job of that. I got a couple good seniors right now that are really, in my opinion, having a really good experience compared to earlier. And I think that's just a tribute to their willingness to change and accepting new things.
Well, you do have a large roster, returned 13, I believe, and have 9 players coming in, or 9 freshmen, a couple of transfers. So that's a lot to mix and match. You have 13 players coming in and the newcomers. So how do you mold that all together? Because you guys got off to a pretty good start in your first weekend.
Yeah, I think people look at that and go a pretty good start opposed to. In my opinion, I think that start could have been better. I think my players feel that could have been better. However, it is what it is, and we can't go back and change it. So we move forward from here. But no, I think as far as molding or getting the 2 or 3 or however you want to look at it, as far as the players go, returners, newcomers, freshmen, getting that all together, the one common denominator is the game, and that's ultimately why they chose to play ball in college too. I mean, obviously some financial things help them with their career, but at the same point, I mean, this is a level they've probably dreamed of being at for a long time. So I think you try and center as much as you can around the things that they know that they like, love, and want to be a part of. So that's the biggest thing. So when they're at the practice field or when we're at a fall game, when we're at a tournament game, yeah, we got to be locked in when the ball's in play. But it's okay to smile. It's okay to have fun. It's okay to be a kid, because before long they're going to get out into the world, and being a kid's going to get tougher to be. So I think that's the basis of what we really tried to put together here, is just use the common denominators that we know are positives and build from there.
Well, going back to that first weekend, I know coaches always can think they can do better when they are playing, whether it's a 3-game series or a tournament. But your team did hit the ball very well, hit over 300, and for a team from a year ago that did not produce very much at the plate. And so what are some of the things that you have instilled in these players or are working on with the players when they approach the plate, and what they're doing?
Yeah, I think the first thing is I told them just to just go up there and close your eyes and swing hard and see what happens, But I think sometimes we get caught up making the game more difficult than what it needs to be. I think players do that. I think coaches do that, and sometimes we both do that. So instead of analyzing every single little detail, we just try and keep it simple. Go up there with a few theories. Obviously, go up there with a plan, and things can change. You got a runner on first, all of a sudden there's a pass ball or something. Now we got a runner on second. So yeah, your plan can change, but just being able to adjust and allowing yourself to say, this at bat, I just want to get my runner 60 more feet closer to scoring, and that's been something I'm really proud of the way they're doing or what they're working on, because I think a lot of times, when you look at the past, it's really easy for our veteran players just to go up to the plate and go, nope, I'm going to try and get a hit and I'm going to try and get mine. And I think that's a good way to bat a $150, 200, So I think our commitment to having team at bats, having quality at bats, and making sure that's the focal point of what we do when we enter the box is really helping. So yeah, it's really a tip of the cap to our players of again being willing to adjust, and then any sort of instruction we give them, I think they're really, really giving it an honest shot and trying to apply that into their game.
Well, one of the players that maybe applied some of that the first weekend was one of your freshmen, and I hope I pronounced her name, Madison Vrastel.
Vrastel, yeah, you're pretty close. So that's good. That's good.
So she got off to a huge weekend. I think 9 for 16 at the plate, a couple of stolen bases. I just had a huge impact on your team. So how impressive was that for you to see a freshman just step right in and have that kind of a weekend in her first weekend?
Yeah, I think V's a little bit. I mean, she's raw in a good way because she's incredibly athletic. So the stolen bases are possibilities. Her arm strength behind the plate is really good for us. And she can do a few different things at the plate. Obviously, she could give herself up with bunts and stuff like that. But she slaps, she can hit, she can power slap. I mean, there's just a lot of things. She's very versatile at the plate. And in my opinion, she really showed all those tools at the plate, Saturday and Sunday. So I think to be surprised, I'm not surprised. But at the same point, I'm not going to sit here and say I predicted she would do as well as she did. I'm not going to say that. But to be surprised, I'm not surprised. But I think it's a lot just because she's a very unique athlete and what she does at the plate. Some of the rules, I guess, if you want to call them, that we have for some other players. I think if you really want a kid to, get to her full capabilities, sometimes you got to loosen the reins. Sometimes you got to tighten them a little bit, and I think with her, it's just a little bit better to keep them a little bit looser, allow her to bunt on her own, allow her to slap on her own, allow her to, just kind of not be so nitpicky and controlling of what she does at the plate, other than if we have to sacrifice or something. But just kind of let her do her thing. And I think that's where we're going to find that she's going to be the most productive for us. And then obviously she shined for herself, I guess, Saturday and Sunday too.
And if I didn't mention, she was named Freshman of the Week that first weekend. So
yeah, absolutely.
Nice honor for her. So,
yep.
Well, Coach, looking forward to watching your team play this year. And as the season goes on, we're going to keep an eye on your progress. And welcome to the league. And thanks for joining us on In the Circle here today.
Thank you very much. Appreciate being here.